Hello. All right, we're good. Hey, what's up, guys? This is gonna be a synchronicity video, just to give you a heads up. Had a. It's been a funny. It's always weird, like these synchronicities, right? Because it's so easy, and I do this first before I start making connections. Um, I'll just assume it's a coincidence, right? This is like whatever. It's whatever. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Kind of deal. Where it's like, okay, notice something, maybe something semi-related a second time, a third time, and after the fourth time, it's like, okay, there's something to this. And I don't know what this means. I don't really give a fuck about the symbolism. I just want to talk about the synchronicity real quick because it is strange. So, um, just to give a little, just to get a little insight to my hobbies, I enjoy retro video games, quote unquote. I enjoy emulation, collecting ROMs. I got hard drives full of ROMs, stuff like that. If you don't know what a ROM is, it's essentially, if any of y'all are familiar with like Atari or Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, stuff like that. A ROM basically stands for read-only memory. And the ROM is essentially the game. Like if I were to download a Mario Brothers ROM for the Nintendo, the whole game is going to be in that one file, and it's called a ROM. So I collect ROMs, I collect emulation devices from China. I have a few Chinese emulation devices that I've bought over the past couple years. And I have one coming in recently. It's from Anbernic. It's a Chinese company that specializes in making handheld gaming devices. The one I specifically have coming in is the Anbernic 35XX SP, which is supposed to be a clone of the Game Boy Advance SP from back in the early 2000s. It's supposed to be basically just a nostalgia kind of thing, and I just enjoy things like that. Just to preface why I got into this kind of silliness. So basically, my device, the thing I ordered, has been stuck in customs in Dallas for like 3 weeks now. And what's weird, here's actually another synchronicity that I'm going to add on to this, what I'm about to talk about, where I didn't know why. I was trying to find out why. And Google News just so happened to show me an article about, I think they're called, I believe they call it a shipping port, which is like, you have a bulk shipment of Chinese goods coming from China, and the shipping port would be like the customs area in Dallas, and that got delayed. So incidentally, I'm looking on Google News, and I just so happened to find an article talking about shipment delays involving China, involving shipments from China. Temu, Shein, and all that kind of stuff. It's basically there is like a weird contraband scare, and that's sort of a synchronicity. I don't know if you want to call it that, but just so happens my order gets stuck in customs, and I just so happen to find the reason on Google News just randomly. It's not something I actually researched. I found a Reddit thread talking about how the people who ordered the same device were having a shipment delay in Dallas as well. And that was kind of the only thing I really looked into, just to kind of see, am I the only person going through this? And it's just a lot of people were going through the same thing. So sort of a synchronicity, if you want to consider it that. So I'm in a Discord server for Retro Handhelds. I think that's the name of the server, is Retro Handhelds. And somebody links an article talking about the battery issue when it comes to charging these devices, these Chinese devices. And I don't know the technical jargon to explain what they mean, but it has something to do with the regulator, like a chip regulator that's supposed to regulate like how much power the battery takes when it's recharging from your power block, your cable. There's like supposed to be a limiter on it that's supposed to keep it from using the quick charge feature that most power blocks have. The USB-C to USB-C connection, which I don't use that for my devices, so I don't have to worry about that. But I kind of read an article about that, where it wasn't an article, it was actually a Reddit thread, where a guy was, somebody who actually knows these things was talking about it. And because he had a device that he left on a quick charger, and the battery ended up swelling, and it ruined the device. the battery could have exploded. It could have been a disaster. And apparently this happened to somebody else where their garage could have caught fire or something like that. Something fucking crazy like that. But anyway, it has to do with the quick charge feature on these power blocks that are these modern power blocks. And the debate in the thread was, is this common knowledge? I mean, a lot of people are ordering these devices that just don't know things like this. And so long story short, the batteries, these devices can't quick charge. And if you do quick charge them, you're basically playing with you're playing with fire essentially. You might be potentially working with a bomb if you're not careful. Which I don't have to worry about that. I only use quick charge feature. I don't use USB-C to USB-C with any of my devices. So I really don't have to worry about that. But it was something I stumbled on. I thought that was interesting. It's kind of helpful to know these things. So my wife stumbles on like an article recalling some rechargeable wall lights, like from Walmart, and they're like rechargeable lights that you can like stick to your wall or whatever. And there's a recall on those because one set a person's house on fire, and I just thought it was weird that she found an article like that, totally independent of me. I hadn't talked about this battery issue at all to her, so she finds an article, and she knows I kind of use these lights for our hallway and stuff. So she went around, checked the model number, make sure that the recall for these lights didn't match our model number. They don't, so we're fine. I guess we're fine. Because the one that malfunctioned looked exactly like one I got from Dollar Tree about a few weeks ago, but the model numbers didn't match. So I think we're fine. And I was explaining to her why this happens. I basically said what I explained to y'all. It's like, I'm pretty sure the article omits this, by the way. I'm pretty sure they were recharging their device. They're recharging the light battery with a quick charge block and a quick charge cable, which isn't common knowledge. You're not going to know not to do that. That these cheap Chinese devices and the motherboard, or whatever you want to call them, the PCB, the whatever chips they have on them, can't regulate the power correctly, and it charges too quickly, and it'll actually overcharge and has the potential to either just destroy the device through warping or cause a fire. The battery gets too hot, the plastic catches on fire, and that has the potential to catch other things on fire, and that's how the fire starts. And I was saying basically the rule of thumb from now on for me is don't leave my devices unsupervised while they're charging. And I told her all this, like, look, I kind of decided yesterday I'm not going to do this anymore after researching it. I just so happened to research it. So she stumbles on an article, and just so happens that I get to work today, and the lady, I walk in, I clock in, and there's a lady that works here named Sherry, and she's a kind of a motor mouth type of person. She just talks about things. So she was telling me about how she left her tablet on her dashboard in her car. It got too hot in her car, and it started smoking, and one of the shift leads here just happened to notice that the device was smoking in her car, so they told her the device was ruined, but it could have been a lot worse. So the battery caught fire. So, just weird synchronicities, guys. I don't know. This battery thing is fucking weird. Like I said, it's something I kind of looked into, and my wife stumbled upon, and then a coworker happened to have the battery catch on fire in her car. So it's like weird, like I've said before, copy-paste reality. And this is me. This is me creating this. Okay? It's like a spreading it's like a fractal that's spreading, and the source is like me for some reason. And I don't know why. Like, why? Like, who cares, right? I don't know the reason. But y'all got any battery stories y'all want to tell? Like, it's like the cat fractals. Like, hey, y'all been noticing cats? Have y'all been noticing ducks? Let me know. But if y'all got any weird battery stories to tell, I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. The past, like, I don't know, week or two. Maybe a few weeks from now, you'll have an incident with a battery. Just be careful, y'all. Kind of a PSA, too. Like, if you're ordering stuff, and a lot of these... If you're ordering stuff from China, and a lot of these, like a lot of our stuff we use is manufactured in China. Like, and if you're ordering stuff from Shein that uses batteries, or Temu, or whatever, like, if you're getting stuff really cheap from China, like, just buyer beware. And it's kind of a tangent that I'm going to go on here, but the people that review the devices I'm into, like the retro handhelds, these video game handhelds, they don't talk about these issues, and it kind of pisses me off a little bit, because even it only takes one incident, right? Like, these incidents shouldn't be happening at all, in my opinion, in current year. Everyone say, oh, current year, 2024. Modern day, we should not be having these issues with this technology, especially something so simple as these chip regulators that regulates the input, the power input. Like these devices shouldn't be overcharging. They're supposed to be equipped with a failsafe. Like I don't understand how it's getting through regulations. And apparently these chips, to modernize it, it would cost like 5 cents a device or something like that. And it's like, why not just go the extra mile to get these devices up to code, and so we won't have these fire issues. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. I'll try to find some screenshots to kind of put up here as well, and the Reddit thread talking about it, because it's just I don't know, it's interesting to me. It's whatever, probably whatever to y'all. But anyway, have a nice day.